What's going on, world? My name is Cutman LG. I'm the director of music programming at Universal Hip Hop Museum and also a founding member at Universal Hip Hop Museum. Please check out my interview with Pascal Archimede on No Feet, first on Black culture. Peace.
I don't think words can really express how important this is, especially it's not even really about this moment, it's about 200-300 years from now and what it's going to mean for people that remember all of this. You know, because obviously, even though it's been around a long time, hip hop is still relatively young. Like this is our history. This is something that lays the groundwork for future generations, so the narrative is right. It's beautiful.
This is history. We're in the Bronx, New York. This is history for the people. The most importance of today to me is the acknowledgement of the people who paved the way for us. Blood, sweat, and tears and pain, uplifting hip-hop, uplifting our community, our culture. And a lot of those guys are unsung heroes that never get celebrated. That's what this is about to me.
Good morning, Cutman LG.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So, DJ, producer, and former on-air personality at New York-based radio station Hot 97, you're the executive and founding member of the Universal Hip Hop Museum, a museum dedicated to the celebration and preservation of hip-hop culture.
Correct.
Cutman, how did the idea to set up such a place come up?
Well, I'm going to give you the short story because it's a long story. So, the director of the museum, Rocky Bucano, was working at, he was a director at a place called Gaucho's Gym. Gaucho's Gym is basically for the youth playing basketball. And there was a gentleman that approached him and asked him, "Hey, man, you know, I want you to help me with this project that I'm working on." And basically that's how that happened. But the thing was, this guy, Young Woo, what he was trying to do was put like shops, art shops in the Kingsbridge Armory. But what we did was we put a twist on it. We said, well, why don't we do a museum in there along with your art shops? Mm-hmm. So that's how this whole thing came about. So when that happened, of course, we needed to get the founders of this music genre that we're in. We went and got Joe Conzo. We went and got Grand Wizard Theodore, Grandmaster Melly Mel, Bambaataa, Mickey Benson, Curtis Blow, mm-hmm. and myself and Rocky. So that's how we formulated the whole founding members of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. So the whole concept of it was for us to build this museum inside the Kingsbridge Armory, along with this ice skating hockey. So that fell apart because of the ice hockey people. They were having differences. So we continued on. We looked for some other places. We went to place on Lincoln Avenue. It was an old furniture store. That didn't work. And then we ended up at a place, the first courthouse in the Bronx Courthouse. It was closed. So there's a gentleman that owns it now, and he was open for the idea for us to put the museum in there. But we did a few events in there, like we did a Netflix event that for the Get Down. I don't know if you remember that series that was on Netflix called The Get Down.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, so we did that there. We did Sisters of Hip Hop there with Chirac and different female artists, Angie B, and it was beautiful. But when now it's time to do this business, as far as like how we want to formulate this museum, the owner of that particular place, he was trying to charge us some astronomical price, and that didn't work out. So, you know, Rocky, myself, and a few others still was holding the flag up, believing that this is going to happen. And then Bronx Point contacted us and said, "Hey, you guys looking for a space?" And that's how, that's why we're doing what we're doing, why we're here, the construction has started. It's going to be a 20-story building. The first 2 floors is going to be dedicated to the Universal Hip Hop Museum. So, and, of course, street, we have the actual exhibit where we're testing out different things, see what people are gravitating to, and just showing the whole experience, some of the experience of, the early years of hip hop, from when it started to where we're at now,
Because you know what, I thought that the fact of having the museum in the Bronx was something really symbolic, because the rap music was created, is from the Bronx, right?
Yes, hip hop, the culture is from the Bronx, and you have Kool Herc, which is the first. He's Caribbean descent. Same thing with Flash, and the same thing with Bam. And guess what? I'm Caribbean too.
Where are you from? Where are you from in the Caribbean?
Well, my mom and my dad is Guyanese.
Okay.
So I'm Guyanese, and yeah. So it all makes sense. So yeah, it all started in the Bronx once upon a time, and yeah.
And so Cutman, why did it seem important for you to have this museum?
Well, the important is to document what took place for 40+ years. This is an art form that turned in that people didn't believe in. They said it was a fad. They said this is not music. I heard it from my uncle that owned a record store, Berlin Records, one of the biggest record stores in the Bronx at the time. He started on Prospect Avenue, and then he moved to Brooklyn Boulevard, and he did not like the music at all. But we as kids, we gravitated to that stuff. So it's history. I mean, it's people that took the time and played in these different places for little to no money, and started an art form, which is so amazing and incredible, that is being celebrated all around the world. So why not? This is 47 years of hip hop culture. Come on, it has to be done. We have to it has to be done by us, by the people, for the people, by the people. And we have to document our history, because you have different museums. Why not have a hip hop museum?
Exactly. And so, talking about the museum, Cutman, is the museum already opened, or is it still a project? Because I heard that it's going to be opened in 2023. At the same time, I heard that there was an opening in 2021. So tell me more about the project itself. Where are we right now?
So we have an exhibit which is in the shopping mall called Bronx Terminal Market, and we're in between Applebee's and Morisco's. So Applebee's, Subway's, and Morisco. And right in the middle of it, on the ground level, is the revolution of hip hop. And we call it the revolution of hip hop. And across the street, 500 feet away, looking directly across the street, is where the construction is being done. They're on the 5th floor right now. They're on the 5th floor. So our opening was for the revolution of hip hop. We had a groundbreaking earlier this year, which was in May 22nd, I do believe. And we had a groundbreaking, and that's what took place. That's what you probably heard, probably in the media.
Okay. So normally it should be over already for 2023 or 2024?
It's going to be 2024. And the reason why it's 2024, because of the COVID. And once the COVID had started, it pushed a lot of things back, construction and everything. So we was hoping it would be for 2023, which would be the 50th year for hip hop, but it'll be 2024, and we're good with that too as well.
So what can we expect to see by 2024?
2024, you're not going to walk into this museum to see artifacts hanging from the wall, pasted to the wall. You're going to see a more immersive, a more, you know, the whole new AI experience, you know, because kids gravitate to that stuff. They're not really into like looking on the wall, and they get bored after a while. But if you have some interactive stuff that's on the wall, panels and going around the whole museum and all kind of cool stuff, that's what's going to bring the people in. That's what's going to gravitate the people to want to come. You're going to have lines around the block. People are going to be coming like 2 and 3 times telling their friends about this, because it's not going to, there's no experience. What we're about to bring, the experience is like, it's going to be so insane that people are going to want to come, tell their friends, and it's going to be an attraction for the whole world to see.
All right. And how is the Universal Hip Hop Museum financed, Cutman?
City and state, you know, the city had stepped up and say, hey, you know, we believe in what you guys are doing. Thanks to Ruben Diaz, our Bronx Borough president. He definitely stepped up big time. The governor of New York State stepped up, and Microsoft stepped up. So right now we're asking all these hip hoppers that got these billions of dollars to step up too, because listen, at some point you're going to be in there too in the museum, you know.
Companies like Microsoft are investing. The state of New York have contributed, I heard of, $3.7 million to the museum. So isn't it strange today that those people are investing, knowing that almost 50 years ago, no mainstream organization would have never invested a penny on hip hop?
That's right, and you're correct. They didn't believe in it. A lot of people didn't believe in it, and you know, we have, you know, like I always say, seeing is believing, and you know, let things take its course. And hip hop has taken its course, and it's definitely time for it to shine and have its own building, so it could celebrate our heroes and sheroes of this genre called hip hop. And like I said, it took some time. You know, unfortunately, it took this amount of time for it to happen. But you know what? I believe it's in God's time, you know, for it to happen with the right people. And here we are.
Okay, all right. And Cutman, many people criticize rap music today, saying that rap no longer conveys uplifting messages. What do you think?
Well, what's going on, the people that's in the game right now, they're seeing what they're seeing, and they're rapping about what they see and what they do and what's going on in their community. You know, when we were, you know, I can't say when we were doing, because I'm still a DJ, I still produce, but you know, you have a different age group. You know, I'm not interested in what these guys are doing. You know, that doesn't interest me. You know what I'm saying? Going to the club and hanging out and popping bottles and doing all that stuff. My thing is buying buildings, investing in things that make sense, that's gonna benefit my community. You know, and not saying that not some of these artists are not doing that. I'm not saying that, but a lot of these, there's a few that's doing it, and a lot of them are not. They just worried about the bag, and whatever that bag, when that bag runs out, you know, you wish you invested, but they're only seeing what's in the environment. And you know, hopefully it's gonna take a museum to show them a different way. Number one, learn the history, who came before you, you know, learn, you know, the artist's name, where they came from, what they represented. A lot of the new artists, it doesn't appeal to them. So I don't know what the language is. I don't know, you know, so we're studying to find out how we can bridge the gap with the younger artists along with the classic artists. I don't like to use old, because what's old is new again. I like to say classic. We don't say classic. We don't say old rock stars. We don't say the old blues. We say rock and roll. You know, it shouldn't be no old. That word old school attached to hip hop, we should just get rid of it. It should be classic.
And speaking about generations of rap, last question I'm going to ask you, Cutman, how do you see the evolution of rap music over the last 50 years?
Well, it came from, you know, the positive of seeing what's the solution? What can we do to fix the problems from the Melly Mel, broken glass everywhere, people pissing in the stairs, they just don't care.
Broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice.
You know, then you had the fun rap, you know, you had the stories by the Slick Ricks.
Once upon a time, not long ago, when people wore pajamas and lived like slugs, where laws were stern and justice stood, and people were behaving like they ought to good.
You know, you had, you know, the Big Daddy Kane showing blackness, you know.
Rough, rugged and real, you're on standstill to obey your case, so let the man build. Words of rapture that you have to capture, and I just slapped you.
You know, you have Common, you know, that's talking about for the people, by the people, you know.
This is street radio for unsung hero, riding in the Rego, trying to stay legal. My daughter found Nemo, I found the new Primo. Yeah, you know how we do it for the people. From Inglewood to a single hood in Botswana, I see the iron we.
So you have, you know, you have different waves that came, and where it's at right now, it's missing those things, those elements. You know, everybody don't have to be a B. Every woman doesn't have to be a bitch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We don't have to address our women like that. What I'm saying to you is the youth, they're missing out on a lot that came before them, because for me, it sounds the same. Yeah. Pretty much everything sounds the same. I mean, at least when those guys were doing it, they had a concept, and they had a concept with their songs. You know, if it was about what was going on, you know, about government or stuff that's going on in the hood, or you had, you know, people telling stories about, you know, just telling just fun stories. Slick Rick, for instance, fun stories. Run DMC, you know, my Adidas. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loved Adidas, and I think that made Adidas stock go up.
My Adidas walk through concert doors and roam all over Coliseum floors. I stepped on stage at Live Aid, all the people gave, and the poor got paid. And I was on speaker.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Got you.
You know, right. So we're missing the fun right now, and I guess my fun is different from their fun, because we partying to two different kinds, same music, but two different kinds of concepts of music.
Okay,
if I put it correctly.
So, you know, thanks a lot for this conversation, Cutman. And
Thank you.
I wish you the best for this universal hip hop journey.
Peace to the viewers. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Check us out. Universal Hip Hop Museum, UHHM.org. Check us out. My name is Cutman LG. Thanks for having me.